So the question right now is, what single 74-year-old guy wouldn't love to be Bill Belichick right now? He has this fantastic job at the University of North Carolina. He gets paid $30 million. He has 8 Super Bowl rings, and he has a beautiful 24-year-old girlfriend. So you might be saying, what's the problem? You got any issue with that? Now, there was an interview with CBS, and people are asking questions about the nature of Belichick and Jordan Hudson's relationship.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
Okay, that was a little strange. CBS's Tony DeCopel noted that Hudson has posted about how they met on Instagram. Supposedly, she says they met while on a flight when Belichick noticed her reading deductive logic, and the two of them ended up having a conversation. Now, Bill is on Instagram as well.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet and she's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
Okay, wait a minute.
I know. So
something's not right here.
So I remember when I first started watching football, my dad had me, obviously the Bears were a thing, but I was watching the New York Giants. And some of you listening remember when Lawrence Taylor and that team, Phil Simms was their quarterback. Well, their defensive coordinator, head coach was Bill Parcells. Their defensive coordinator was Bill Belichick during that time. And then after that, later on, he got a head coaching job with the Cleveland Browns. That lasted he was in and out of there fast. And then he became coach of the New England Patriots. I've known people that have played for Bill Belichick. And the one thing they have always said, Ursula, is how much of a football genius he is. Like real genius, almost like Rain Man. They would tell me that.
Okay. And I think that's key.
Right. So it wasn't until yesterday that it just like slapped me in the face. Now, I don't know if what I'm saying is proper. And I hope you guys don't get mad at me. I'm just going to give you something that's on my heart. Yesterday was the first time that I said to myself, oh, I think Bill Belichick is on the spectrum. Right?
He's brilliant.
Because
he's brilliant at football.
Right. And then in his interviews, when he does interviews throughout his entire time, if you've ever seen Bill Belichick do an interview, he does not like to do those interviews.
He always has a monotone voice.
Mm-hmm.
He always sounds like irritated. I mean, one of the things would be, does he miss social cues? I mean, she interjected, and we're putting a lot into this because obviously a lot of people have criticism because she's 24 and he's 74. And already that's highly unusual. But for her to be kind of controlling what he says, Bill Belichick is a multimillionaire. He is very much an adult. He's had an accomplished career. He's a very successful guy. Why can't he speak for himself? And why can't he say how you guys met? Because I think there's a concocted story about how they met.
Oh, for sure. And by the way, I don't know how they met. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, when I heard her say that and popped up, I got that energy. You know what I mean? I'm talking about that energy that made me say to myself, like, oh, wow, okay. That feels like an energy of, like, we've seen the movies. You guys have seen a lot of the movies. As a matter of fact, every time Best Actress, Best Film is always a film centered around Pretty Woman, right?
Uh-huh.
Elliot Spitzer?
You could feel that. Ursula, you could feel that energy, right? But either way, you know what I said after that yesterday? I said, you know what, Bill? I get it. I get it now.
You get something from each other.
Absolutely. Yes.
There's clearly something. And so for us to judge, I mean, this is ultimately how I felt like, do I really care? No, I mean, it's something people are talking about, but ultimately it's like, I'm glad that's not my daughter because I would counsel her differently.
Yeah. But you could tell usually if that was your daughter.
That's, she's the
allegedly,
age of my youngest son.
Probably for her to be in that situation, there's something else going. Like a 24-year-old.
She's getting very much something out of it too.
Yeah.
In addition to the companionship.
And so is Bill.
Yes,
I think Bill has somebody that can talk for him now. Somebody that makes him comfortable in public settings. And I'm not exaggerating. I think Bill is living his best life because I think she gets him because maybe
at 24.
That's what they do though, right? Like these folks in that profession, they get the older men, right? They get them. I don't know.
Doesn't this also kind of seem like she might be kind of controlling his communications?
Clearly, in this
we've seen
interview.
that play out time and again before, where older celebrities, say Richard Simmons, and kind of disappears, and someone's controlling the estate.
Ooh, well, yeah. In this case, though, he's very much in the public eye still. Yeah. But he's got a very public job.
But again, like you said, Ursula, I think these two are both giving each other something.
Yeah.
She gets something, he gets something. And you know what? That's what relationships are. Right now, your significant other, your significant other gives you something, you give her something, or him something, whoever. We good. 50 year difference.
Someone was wondering if Robert Kraft might have introduced them. Interestingly enough, by the way, he is Robert Kraft being the owner of the.
You know, I by the way, I just want, hey, Ursula, can I tell y'all the truth about something? I had a whole nother half to my point that I had to disregard. And I had to disregard it because where's my son headed to next weekend?
Oh, no.
Look, y'all, trust me. I had an entire second half of a point that was going to make it all make sense. But I had to abort.
Otherwise, your son would be, Dad, you've opened your mouth too much.
Y'all heard me. I kept this strictly Bill Belichick, and I give any
Interestingly
other
enough,
angle.
though, Bill Belichick has a book, and he did not mention Robert Kraft in that book.
Yeah.
Even though I think they had a very close relationship at one point.
And neither did I. Y'all are witnesses. I stayed on Bill.